Let's just start with the business. I keep seeing when I'm reading about it, it's like that scene from Clueless where she goes in and she looks in the closet and the computer dresses her. I think a lot of women, at least my age, remember that scene, and everyone says, oh, I wish that existed. So you guys are getting compared to that to a degree.
We are. It's actually funny. We didn't even draw the parallel at all to Clueless. And then we sent, when we were in beta, when Finery was in beta, we sent it out to a lot of influencers to get their advice. And a lot of them responded and said, this is the Clueless closet on steroids. And we looked at each other, we're like, that's the best way to describe it. It is the Clueless closet.
Who knew that Cher was like the early tech entrepreneur?
Exactly.
And so explain to me the idea behind it. What is Finery?
There are all these management systems out there for things like your music, your banking, your travel, but there's nothing out there for your clothing. And women will spend more money on their clothing than their education. And a lot of women now are hypermobile. They don't know what they have where, and it leads to a lot of overspending. And so we thought like there has to be something out there to help us manage our stuff. And there wasn't. So we built it.
You really only wear 20% of your wardrobe, and there's that $500 billion that's just hanging in women's closets unworn. You could see the natural progression from even just starting with your wardrobe, but being able to then help style this woman and then help her sell her clothes too. So it's all kind of on one platform.
From a woman going on for the first time, what can I expect?
It's really optimum for the online shopper. What we do is we get the last 10 to 12 years of your purchase history and we pull all of those items into a wardrobe. And it looks like an online shopping site, but instead of actually shopping for new clothes, you're shopping your own closet. And the reason why I think so many women only wear 20% of their wardrobe is because they just don't see what they have. You know, it's not that they don't love everything else in their closet, it's that it's collecting dust on the back rack.
Yeah.
And so to be able to actually see what you have and then see it laid out in this beautiful platform where you're like, oh, that goes with this. I've owned that for 15 years and haven't worn it in 10. It just really allows you to be more efficient. And again, like stop spending time on the things that you don't want to.
And so do users upload the photos to you guys? Is that how it works?
Fully automated.
Anything you've ever purchased online, we automatically find, and within seconds, that is in your closet. But then anything you purchased in store, you Google, and within seconds, you can add it. And then the last thing is if it's vintage or given to you by somebody, you have to take a picture of it.
You talk about utilizing tech that's already out there. How exactly does that work?
We found this technology that was already being used, just like Uber already used GPS. We were using these technologies in our everyday life, like using Mint for our banking, and we were using TripIt for our travels, and they are email parsers. But there was a reason why nobody was doing fashion. A lot of men don't necessarily look at their wardrobe and really need to have it on the go. And so a lot of men are in technology, and there is this just disconnect between what women need and then who's out there making tech.
I think people more than ever are realizing that they vote with their dollar. And I think consumers are smarter than ever. They want to know where everything is sourced from. They want to know who's behind their technology, who's behind the products that they're buying. And I think really that's very recent. I think especially in the last 6 months. I mean, you look at something like the success of Black Panther and it's like, no, people want these movies made by minorities that haven't been made before. Let's go out and watch this movie. People are really, really taking their spend seriously. And I think we've seen a lot of that in our technology. We have women who are like, you guys are 2 females running a tech company. We want to sign up and support what you're doing. Let's help you grow. Let's give you user feedback. We're currently doing a big redesign, and we surveyed a lot of our users, and the people who were using to survey said, we have not had this much feedback from a user base ever. Wow. This is, if they're upset, if they're happy, whatever it is, this is the most engaged audience we've had, and I think women are taking it very seriously to really help each other and support one another. I think there's this misconception that to be successful in business as a female, you have to act like a man. You have to communicate like a man, you have to stand up like a man. I think what makes women so powerful is their empathy, being able to actually understand your consumer and their needs, and women are famously empathetic and emotional, and I think that's an incredible asset to businesses. And I think for so many years we've been told, like, squash that, don't do that, and I think that's actually what makes us relate to our user more than most males in technology.